You're listening to the Dirt Racing Podcast.
Hello and welcome to the Dirt Racing Podcast. In this edition, we'll have results from our normal tracks. So let's get started with the Marshalltown Speedway with the modifieds from last Friday night. Picking up the win, the 48K Colin Hindman. Second, the 44T Tanner Black. Third was Trevor Fitch in 28T. Fourth was the 5 of Todd Shute. Fifth, the 69N of Corey Ray. Jazz Baca in the 75 Junior was 6. 7th, David Brown in 21. Jackson Sadoff in the 96 was 8. 9th, to Jake McBurney. 10th, the 43S of Scott Simonovich. Jeremy Ritchie in the 15J was 11th. 12th, the 1 of Josh Most. 13th was the 5G of Gat Latrim. Adam Weiserman, the 41 was 14th. 15th, the 10K of Uncle Ron Lorenzen. 16th was Colton Osborne in 72. 17th was Jake Snyder in 98. And Jared Ballhagen in the 72B was 18th. And 19th, that did not finish, was a 44K of Kelsey Black. In the stock cars, picking up the win was the 19 Jimmy Gustin. Second, the 23 Junior Michael Jeanette. Third, the 69 Jonathan Loeb. Fourth, the 94 Steve Meyer. Fifth, the 41 of Thor Anderson. Sixth, the A1A of Austin Kaplan. Seventh, the 5A of Tyler Pickett. Dylan Silram in the 55 was 8th. The rest did not finishes or did not start. 9th was the 30M McGuire DeYoung. The 37J John Foley was 10th. Dustin Cano in the 56 was 11th. 12th, the 77M of Jeff Mueller. 13th, the 18J Jocelyn Elmquist. Chris Wilkie in the 07 was 14th. 15th, Rhett Eamon in the 28. 16th, Eric Miles in the 165 and did not start. And credited with 17th was the 7P of Shane Palmer. Sport Mods, the 01 of Braden Carter, the winner. Second, Corey Kemptis in the 07. Third, 21 of Cam Reimers. Fourth, the 19J of Janae Gustin. Fifth, the K3 of Kyle Olson. Brady Homer in the 22 Junior was 6th. 7th, the CB25 of Chris Burke. 8th, the 4C of Dylan Cherry. 9th, Brandon Tharp in the 7T. 10th was the 57K of Ryan King. 11th, the 9R of Tyler Carey. Christopher Freesby in the 17F was 12th. 13th, the 37 Rob Jennings. Caden Rice was 14th in the 69K. The rest did not finish his or did not start. In 15th was the 18 of Jesselyn Elmquist. Dan Milton in the 81 was 16th. 17th to 30 of Kenzer Ellis. 18th to 2X of Matt Avila. 19th, the 34Z of Corey Van Zandt. Kurt Spines in the 28B was 20th. 21st, Dylan Sawak in the 22D. Dayton Sawak, 22nd, the 8 of Tom Lathrop. Sarah Rose Gary, the 99S was 23rd. 24th, Matt Miller, the 29. 25th, the 27K is Xander Keeland. And did not start, credited with 26 was Kurt Helmer in the 22H. In the hobby stocks, your winner was the 47 SW of Sam West. Second, the 2G of Bradley Graham. Third, the 7B of Eric Stanton. Fourth was the 9 of Kobe Staven. Fifth was Braden Farnini in the 7. Sixth, Kevin Sadler in the 2. Seventh, the 55, Brent Mosdem. Solomon 11B was 8th. Ninth, the 88 Shaquille Hemsley. Ben Newhouse in the 17X was 10th. 11th was the 55X of Corey Vanderwelt. 12th, the 81A of Alex Yeager. 13th was the 19 Ray Hill. 14th, Braden Long in the 06B. 15th to 31A of John Alexander. Balin Lynn Long. And the 00B was 16th. 17th, the 9B of Larry Baldwin. 18th to 17 of Andy Pack. Blake Stevens in the 4B was 19th. 20th, Clayton Soggy in the 7X. 21st, Eric Knutson. Eric with the C in the 12K was 21st. 22nd, the 51X of Derek Dustin Falloon. And 23rd, the 22K of Cal Cook. In the Bond Lights, John Padilla was your winner in the 11P. Second, the 4G of Ben George. Third was Brian Ziem in the 46Z. Fourth, the 99 Josh May. Alex Eichod in the 70 was 5th. 60X50 of Joel Huggins. Jonathan Verhoon in the H7B was 7th. 9th. 8th, the 9th of Garrison Anderson. 10th, the 47 of 9th, 47 Corey Saunders. 10th, the 5G of Tristan Glick. 11th, the 5 of Michael Dominguez. The 9XL of Colin Anderson was 12th. 13th was the 44 of Garrett Barber. Dylan Bush was 14th in the 96. 15th, the 8N of William Nobles. 16th, the 2G of Grant Nelson Anderson. The rest were did not finishes. 17th, Jackson Karn, that's 55. Ryder Hartley in the 87R was 18th. 19th, the 48G of Austin Gray. Kobe Olbrant in the OB, the 0B was 20th. 21st, the 82 of Charlie Brown. In the Sport Compacts, your winner was Mitchell Bunch in the 83B. Second, the 46, Michael Gardner. Third was the 89, Christian Grady. Fourth, the 6R, Spencer Rosentine. Caitlin Watts was 5th in the 2K. Sixth, the 22C of Ryan Cheney. 7th, the 13 of Connor Atkins. 8th, the 44, Angela Gardner. 9th, and did not finish the 75K of Caden Gosling. And credited with 10th and did not start the 2 junior Ralph Jones. Over at the Hancock County Speedway was in racing action as well on last Friday. We'll start with their modifieds. Picking up the win was the 3 of Kelly Shryock. Second, the 10 of Jeremy Mills. Third was the 13 of Jerry Flippo. Nick Meyer in the 2 was 4th. 5th, the 7S of Todd Steinhardt. 6th was Clint Hillestat in the 74C. 7th, the 00 of Tristan Vesterby. 8th, the B24 of Owen Barnhill. 9th was Greg Elliott, 75. 10th, the 4, Jason Bass. 11th, the 118 of Jesse Peterson. Jamie Anderson in the 0 was in 12th. The rest did not finishes. 13th, the 49K of Cody Connect. Dylan Potter, the 3P, was 14th. 15th, Gary Hall in the 75H, and Larry Hall in the 55 was 16th. In the stock cars, your winner was Kelly Sharrock in the 3. Second, the 01 of Troy Jarovich. Third, Parker Stagel in 47. Justin Aldiz in the 10 was 4th. 5th, Harry Heath Tope in the 50. Chad Plummer in the 14 was 6th. 7th, the X of Scott Olson. 8th, the 154E of Carter Evans. Lauren Pasica in the 46M was 9th. 10th, Troy Swearengin in 73. 11th, Wayne Landhier in the 2. 12th was David Wickman in the 14W. Blaine Hansen in the 55B was 13th. 14th, the 343 of Zane Feaster. The rest did not finishes. 15th, the 43 of Calvin Lang. And 16th, Kevin Opheim in 44K. In the Sport Mod, Jacob Tishney in the 5J was your winner. Second, the 08 of Alex Fett. Third, Matthew Loaf in the 9. Kobe Fett in 00 was 4th. 5th was Charlie Stevens in the 81. Josh Uppel in the 65J was 6th. 7th, Nate Albrecht in the 88N. Dustin West in 85 was 8th. 9th, the 2 of Kobe Grady. Jeremiah Reed in the 9J was 10th. 11th was Drew Fett in 64. Jackson Carey in the 392 was 12th. 13th, 86 of Randy Cram. 14th was Aiden Gelner in 33. George Gilliland in the 40 was 15th and did not finish, and 16th was the 10 of Summer Grady. In the IMCA Hobby Stocks, your winner was the T8 of Brandon Nielsen. Second, Josh Seidels in the 99X. Third was Jade Lang in 43. Lucas Smith in the 14L was 4th. 5th, Steve Wickman in 48. Dan Hanselman in 98 was 6th. 7th to 91 of Chris Krug. Braden Shear in 27 was 8th. Nash Palmer in the 17 was 9th. Grant Hagelin in the 11 was 10th. 11 to 25, Josh Munson, excuse me. 12th, the 48 of Drew Barzloff. Mark White in the 4W was credited with 13th. The rest did not finish, did not start, starting with 13th. 14th, the 88B of Travis Bickler. Joshua Munson in the $25 sign was 15th. Jace Hansen in the 3 Junior was 16th. The did not start credit was 17th. The 5K Jeremy True. And Jay Seidels was credited with 17th in the 28. In the Outlaw Hobby Stocks feature, Joshua Munson in the $25 sign was your winner. Second, the 136 of Tanner Green. Braden Shearer in the 27 was third. Fourth, the 50 of Bryce Summerfield. T8 of Brandon Nielsen was fifth. Roger Harp in the 24 was sixth. Seventh was the 25 of Jacob Munson. Eli Dorman in the 57 was eighth. The ninth that did not finish was the 91 of Chris Krug. Krug. And Sarah Gilbert did not start, credited with 10th in the 10S. Over at the CJ Speedway, also on Friday evening, picking up the win was the 53 of Logan Herbie Anderson. Second, the 17C is Shane Paris. Third, the 77 of Kurt Kyle. Fourth, the 79 of Barry Dugan. Brett Ramsey in the 12 was fifth. Sixth, the 43 of Preston Williams. And did not finish in seventh, the IB 25 of Shane Richardson. In the stock cars, your winner was the IB 57 of Shane Richardson. Second, the 05 Junior John Oliver. Third, the 10G of Dustin Griffiths. Fourth, the 33 of Churton Witt. Keegan Wells in the 23W was fifth. Sixth, the 23B of Adam Bell. Kenny O'Donnell was seventh in the 56. Eighth, the 35 LJ of Lormy Jackson. Kurt Kinsley in the 21M was ninth. 10th, 41F of Zane Philman. The rest did not finishes. In 11th, the 83 of James Cummins. 12th was Austin O'Donnell in the 56A. And 13th, the 30 of Dan Brockhart. Picking up the win in the sport mods, the 117 of Dylan Van Wyk. Second, the 11X of Cole Vanderwall. Second, the 42 of Tyler Hecker. Third, the 55 of Dustin Griffiths. Logan Cumbie in the 8C was fifth. Sixth was Kyler Gerard in 00. Seventh was Trey Rock in 7T. Eighth, Nick Uppel in the 5A. Ninth, the 10L of Levi Lehman. 10th, the 44G of Levi Gaunt. 11th was Shane Wright in the 9. 13th and did not finish was the 12th, in the 10S of Sheldon Hubert. 13th and did not finish the 45 of Johnny Williams, and credited with 14th and did not start the 2 of Nick Hickson. In the hobby stocks, your winner was the 7 of Keaton Gordon. Second, the 28 of Tucker Richardson. Third, 88 of Jason Shirley. Fourth was the 6P of Preston McDonald. Fifth, the 26 of Kyler Burmeister. Braden Wood in the 52B was sixth. Justin Chamberlain in the 25 was seventh. Eighth, the 44 of Brett Timmerman. Jamie Hickson in the 2 was ninth. Levi Paris in the 11K was 10th, and credited with 11th, as did not finish, Austin Stradler in 12. Over at 34 Raceway on Saturday night, we'll start with your 305 sprints, picking up the win to 27. 27I of Tanner Gebhardt. Second, Cole Hemerson in 52H. Third, the 7B Nick Guernsey. Fourth, the 9L of Lincoln Martin. It did not finish the rest did not finish as they did not start. Fifth, the 88 of Riley Scott. Sixth, Ian Stewart in the 16H. Credited with seventh and did not start was the 51J Ryan Jameson. And Chuck Smith in the 8S was credited with 8th. In the modified, your winner was the 9Z Chris Zog. Second, the 22 Austin Becerra. Third, the 05 of John Oliver. Fourth, the 53 of Logan Herbie Anderson. Fifth, the J1 is Jim Sandusky. Sixth, the 5R Bill Roberts. Seventh, the 71 Dennis Levine. Eighth, Mark Winkle in the 7W. Ninth was the 32H of Skylar Haroon. It did not start, credited with 10th, the 96 of Matt Lundry. In the sport mod, your winner was the 117 of Dylan Van Wyk. Second was the 55 of Dustin Griffiths. Third, the 22V of Jared Vandenberg. Sean Wyatt in the 12S was fourth. Fifth was the 00 Matt Tucker. 6th, Joe Roller in 75. 7th, Travis Tidroad in the 13. The 666 was 8th in Kevin Week, and 9th to 15 Ryan Dodd. In the stock cars, your winner was John Oliver in the 05. Second, 10G Dustin Griffiths. Third, the 12 of Chad Krogmeyer. Trenton Witt in the 33 was 4th. 5th was 71 David Brandes. 6th was Corey Sosserman in the C4. 7th to 21 Emma Kurt Kinsley, and credited with 8th and did not finish 75 Austin Kemper. In the Sport Compacts, your winner was the 63 of Tim Scottenhorse, excuse me. Bobby Douglas in 63B was second. Third, the 57 of Barry Taft. Fourth, Chuck Folenkamp in 48C. Fifth, the 23H of Alex Hayes. Brandon Crawley in 38 was sixth. Seventh, Harrison Horn in 58 was seventh. Eighth, the 10C of Chadwick Paulin. Broderick Whitman in the 68 was ninth and 10th, and did not finish the 2X of JT Weibels. In the dirt late models, your winner was the 01 of CJ Horn. Second, Andy Norinsky. Third, the 07 of Ray Raker. Matt Ryan in the 07X was fourth. Fifth, Jeremy Punt in 52J. Sixth, Evan Miller in 88. Dustin Smith in the 53 was seventh. Eighth, the 30 of Curtis Glover. Ninth, the 93 of Jay Johnson. 10th, 39 of Ed Hollenbach. Mitchell Bowles in the 11B was, or 11th in this 4B was Mitchell Bowles. The 7B was 12th of Matt Strassheim. And Alan Parker was 13th in the 81. Over at the Knoxville Raceway was weekly competition for the 410, and we'll start with the 410s, as they had two groups of qualifying. Group 1, we'll start with Group 1. Quick time was the 10 of Ryan Timms at $15,498, $100 from Open Wheel 101. Second, 27 of Carson McCarl at a $15,551. Third was the 88 Austin McCarl at a $15,590. Fourth, the 21 Brian Brown at a $15,619. Fifth, the 78 of Scott Bigiski at a $15,666. Sixth was the 44 Chris Martin at a $15,711. Seventh, the 39 of Linton Jeffrey at a $15,758. Eighth, the 42 of Cy Lynch at a $15,769. Ninth, the 5 of Brendan Crouch at a $15,770. 10th, the 4W Jamie Ball at a $15,818. 11th, the 3K of Tim Kading at a $15,555 or $855. 12th, the 45X of Landon Crawley at a $15,856. 13th, the 22 Riley Gidno at a $15,866. 14th was the 3 of Ayrton Jennington at a $15,874. 15th was the 74 Xavier Donnelly at a $15,905. 16th, the 6T of Danny Sams at a $15,979. 17th was the 7B of Ben Brown at a $16,154. 18th, the 98P of Miles Paulus at a $16,170. 19th, this was the 71 of Brandon Wormington at a $16,242. 20th, the 8H of Jacob Hughes at a $16,397. And 21st, the 121 of RJ Johnson at a $16,643. Group 2. The time trials quick time was at $15,523. Second, the 7BC of Tyler Courtney at a $15,588. Third was the 55 of the Madman Kerry Matson at 15,637. Fourth was the 19 of Brett Marks at 15,816. Fifth was the 14 BC of Corey Day at a 15,841. Sixth was the 15 Junior of Cole Meitzer at a 15,942. Sixth was the 6K of Brandon Wimmer at a 15,957. Eighth was the 2 of Emma JJ Hinkle at a 16,011. Ninth was the 2KS of Christopher Throm at a 16,024. 10th was the 17A of Jack Anderson at a 16,042. 11th was the 14 of Spencer Mason at a 16,044. 12th was the 3P of Sawyer Phillips at a 16,143. 13th was the 25 of Jai Corbett at a 16,145. 14th was 24 T-Mac Terry McCarl at a 16,181. 15th was the 44X of Scotty Johnson at a 16,225. 26th to 23L of Jimmy Light at a 16,270. 17th to G5 of Gage Polsterek at a 16,298. 18th to 31 of Kyle Bellum at a 16,356. 19th to 10V of Joe Beaver at a 16,562. 20th was a 15 of Jack Potter at a 17,833. Heat race 1. Your winner was Ryan Tim. Second, Brendan Crouch. Third, Tim Cade. Fourth, Scott Baginski. Fifth, Austin McCarl. Sixth, Linton Jeffrey. Seventh, Riley Goodnow. Eighth, Xavier Donnelly. Ninth, Ben Brown. 10th, RJ Johnson. And 11th, Brandon Worthington. Heat race number 2 went to Landon Crawley. Second, Jamie Ball. Third, Chris Martin. Fourth, Brian Brown. Fifth, Carson McCarl. Sixth, Ayrton Jetson. Seventh, Silent. Eighth, Danny Sams. Ninth, Jacob Hughes. And 10th, Miles Paulus. Heat race number 3 went to Corey Day. Second to Spencer Mason. Third to Kerry Matson. Fourth to Brandon Wimmer. Fifth to Aaron Reitzel. Sixth to Jai Corbin. Seventh, Scotty Johnson. Eighth, Gage Polsterek. Ninth, Joe Beaver. And 10th, Christopher Throm. Heat race number 4 went to Jack Anderson. Second, Sawyer Phillips. Third was Tyler Courtney. Fourth, JJ Hinkle. Fifth, Brett Marks. Sixth, Cole Meitzer. Seventh, Kyle Bellum. Eighth, Terry McCarl. Ninth, Jimmy Light. And 10th, Jack Potter. In the B main, your winner was Sawyer Phillips. Second, Lynn Jeffrey. Third, Ayrton Jensen. And fourth, the final transfer was Riley Goodnow. Fifth was Cy Lynch. Sixth, Jai Corbin. Seventh, Ben Brown. Eighth, Danny Sams. Ninth, Jacob Hughes. 10th, Xavier Donnelly. 11th, Kyle Bellum. Miles Paulus was 12th. 13th, Scotty Johnson. 14th, Gage Polterick. 15th, Jimmy Light. 16th, RJ Johnson. 17th, Brandon Worthington. 18th, Terry McCarl. 19th, Christopher Throm. These did not starts. 19th, Christopher Throm. 20th, Joe Beaver. And 21st, Jack Potter. In the feature, your winner was Tyler Courtney. Second, Corey Day. Third, Kerry Matson. Fourth, Ryan Timms. Fifth, Austin McCarl. Sixth, Aaron Reitzel. Seventh, Brandon Crouch. Eighth, Carson McCarl. Ninth, Brian Brown. 10th, Brett Marks. 11th, Scott Baginski. 12th, Spencer Mason. 13th, JJ Hinkle. 14th, Jack Anderson. 15th, Jamie Ball. 16th, Ayrton Jetton. 17th was Chris Martin. 18th, Landon Crawley. 19th, Brandon Wimmer. 20th, Riley Goodnow. 21st, Linton Jeffrey. 22nd, Sawyer Phillips. 23rd, Cole Meitzer. 24th was Tim Cade. Tim's led 1 through 13. Courtney led 14 through 20. The hard charger was Janatan. In the 360s, your quick time was the 3P of Sawyer Phillips at 16,746. Second to 63 of JJ Hinkle at a 16,792. Third was the 17 of Tyler Grundyke at a 16,7 792. Fourth, the 87 Aaron Reitzel at 16.823. Fifth, the 24 T-Mac Terry McCarl at 16.876. Sixth, the 1 Taz of Tasker Phillips at 16.897. Seventh, the 48 Clint Gardner at 16.950. Eighth, the 2M of Ryan Giles at 17.016. Ninth was the 01 of the Madman Kerry Matson at a 17.030. 10th was the 86 of Timothy Smith at a 17.044. 11.22X Riley Goodnow at a 17.8 or 0.84. 12th, the 83 of Kurt Mueller at 17.139. 13th, the 99 of Tony Ross at 17.151. 14th, the 4W Jamie Ball at 17.154. 15th, 22 Ryan Levitt at 17.0 or 202. 16th was the 4 Cam Martin at a 17.202. 17th, the 6 Dustin Salvage at a 17.266. 18th was the 3R Russell Potter at 17.287. 19th was the 24H of Kate Higday at 17.299. 20th to 17B of Ryan Bickett at 17.388. 21st the 5A of Alex Vandervoort at a 17.395. 22nd the 4G of Cole Gardner at 17.415. 23rd was the 11B of Kaylee Bryson at 17.585. 24th, the 38 of Logan Alexander at 17.603. 25th, the 14 of Aiden Zoo at a 17.925. 26th to 24, the 74 N of Luke Nellis at 18.144. 27th, 33 Alan Zoo at 18.262. 28th to 31 McLean Richards at an 18.602. 29th, the 1A John Anderson at an 18.905. And 30th with no time was the T4 Tyler Graves. Your heat race 1 went to Cam Martin. Second to Tony Ross. Third, Aaron Reitzel. Fourth, Clint Gardner. Fifth, Sawyer Phillips. Sixth, Kate Higday. Seventh, Timothy Smith. Eighth, Cole Gardner. Ninth, Aiden Zoo. And 10th, the McLean Richards. Heat race number 2 went to Dustin Salvage. Second, Ryan Giles. Third, Jamie Ball. Fourth, Terry McCarl. Fifth, J.J. Hinkle. Sixth, Riley Goodnow. Seventh, Ryan Bickett. Eighth, Kaylee Bryson. Ninth, Luke Nellis. And 10th, John Anderson. Heat race 3 went to Russell Potter. Second, Ryan Levitt. Third, Kerry Matson. Fourth, Tasker Phillips. Fifth, Tyler Grindike. Sixth, Alex Vandervoort. Seventh, Logan Alexander. Eighth, Kurt Mueller. Ninth, Alan Zoo. And 10th was credited with 10th and did not start the T4 Tyler Graves. The B main. Your winner was Kaylee Bryson. Second, Cole Gardner. Third, Logan Alexander. Fourth and final transfer was Aiden Zoot. Fifth was Alan Zoot. Sixth, McLean Richards. Seventh, John Anderson. Eighth, Ryan Bickett. Ninth, Luke Nellis. And credited with 10th and did not start was Tyler Graves. In the feature, your winner was Tasker Phillips. Second, Terry McCarl. Third, Aaron Reitzel. Fourth, Kerry Matson. Fifth, Clint Gardner. Sixth, Cam Martin. Seventh, J.J. Hinkle. Eighth, Sawyer Phillips. Ninth, Riley Goodnow. 10th, Dustin Salvage. 11th, Tony Ross. 12th, Kate Higday. 13th, Tyler Grindike. 14th, Jamie Ball. 15th, Timothy Smith. 16th, Alex Vandervoort. 17th, Ryan Levitt. 18th, Kurt Mueller. 19th, Kaylee Bryson. 20th, Logan Alexander. 21st, Russell Potter. 22nd, Aiden Zoot. 23rd, Cole Gardner. 24th, Ryan Giles. Tasker Phillips, 11, 1 through 18. The hard charger was Goodnow. In the pro sprints, your quick time was the 88 Jake Hender at 17.566. Second, the 17 of Matt Allen at 17,633. Third, the 7 of Hunter Lane at 17,735. Fourth was the 9 of Luke Lane at 17,842. Fifth was the 44 of Brody Johnson at 17,845. Sixth was the 48 of Tyler Thompson at 17,884. Devin Wignall in the 57A was seventh at a 17,886. Eighth was the 26 Chase Young at a 17,921. Ninth was the 13 Emma Brent Moffitt at a 17,936. 10th the 99 of Matthew Selzner at a 17,980. 11th the 2S Josh Jones 18,038. 12th was the 12K of Cody Hildreth at 18,049. 13th, 35 Kevin Hendrick at 18,071. 14th was the 41 of Jeff Wilkie at an 18,098. 15th, the 55 KC of Bob Hildreth at 18,460. 16th was the 12P of Ryan Nevital at 18,648. 17th, the 4S of Dave Sutton at 21,069. And credited with 18th, was disqualified light at the scales, the 7G of Jackson Gray. Heat race number 1 went to Brett Moffitt, second Josh Jones, third Devin Wignall, fourth Brody Johnson, fifth Jake Hender, sixth Hunter Lane, seventh Cody Hildreth, eighth Dave Sutton, and ninth Kevin Hendrick. 10th was the 99 Heat race 2, excuse me. The Matthew Selzner was your winner. Second Chase Young, third Tyler Thompson, fourth Luke Lane, fifth Cody Hildreth, sixth Matt Allen, seventh Jeff Wilkie, eighth Ryan Nevital, ninth Jackson Gray. In the feature, your winner was Chase Young. Second Jake Kender, third Devin Wignall, fourth Luke Lane, fifth Matthew Selzner, sixth Tyler Thompson, seventh Brody Johnson, eighth Josh Jones, ninth Brett Moffitt, 10th Cody Hildreth, 11th Jeff Wilkie, 12th Hunter Lane, 13th Jackson Gray, 14th Bob Hildreth, 15th Matt Allen, 16th Dave Sutton, 17th Kevin Hendrick, and 18th Ryan Nevital. Young led all the way 1 through 15. The hard charger was Kender. Over at Southern Iowa Speedway last night was racing action with the normal classes. We'll start with the Sport Mods picking up the win, the 1 via Curtis Vanderwall. Second, the 15K Kyle Harwood. Third, 24 Chase Johnson. Fourth, the 8T of Tony Johnson. Fifth, Jason Van Zalmeren in the 3Z. Sixth, 70, the 55B of Stephen Barry. And credited with seventh, the 29 of Cole Lizzie did not start. In the non-wing sprint cars, your winner was the T4 Tyler Graves, second Terry Dodd in the 2, third the 1W of Frank Tharp, and fourth the N3 of Nicholas Mertz. Stock cars, your winner was the 1X of Caden Carter, second 10G Dustin Griffiths, third the 52 of Nathan Wood, fourth the 30M of McGuire Young, fifth the 19 of Donnie Pearson, sixth Kason Keller in 71X, seventh Derek Agee in the 14, eighth the 73 of Aaron Martin, ninth the 85 of Mike Hughes, 10th the 10th the 7V of Carter Vandenberg, Garrett Davis in the 19D was 11th, 12th the LB 17 of Luke Byers, and credited with 13th and did not start the 22 of Blaine Bryant. Hobby stocks, the winner was the 10G Dustin Griffith, second the 52B of Brandon Wood, third 22 James Pokington, fourth the 7 of Keaton Gordon, fifth the 91 of Jeremy Dilley, Colton Kent in the 24K was sixth, seventh the 18 of Chris Walker, eighth the 1R Rick Van Dusseldorp, Rod Helmrich was ninth in the 14X, and 10th the 88J of Jake Steitzma. In the Sport Compacts, your winner was the 7 of Zia Colton Zapital, fifth the 65 of Seth Miners, sixth the 18A of Kyle Reisnum, seventh was the 13 of Connor Atkins, and eighth was the 83 of Jake Minders. Over tonight, this is a Thursday night. Racing action was at 34 Raceway. We'll give you the modifieds first before this is all the sprint car action. Picking up the win was the 10 CK and Carter, second the 50 of Danny Eckridge, third the 9Z of Chris Zog. Trevor Fitz in 28 was fourth, fifth the 29 of Spencer Dirks, sixth the Skylar Haroon in 32H, seventh 22 Austin Becerra, eighth the 17C of Shane Paris, ninth was the 5R Bill Roberts, 10th Michael Clays in the 8C, 11th was the 19J of Jeremy Punt, and 12th and did not finish the 71 Dennis Levine. We'll start with your time trials for the sprint 410 sprint cars. Pick Group 1. Picking up the quick time was the 3 of Ayrton Jensen at 13:072. Second was the 6K Caleb Johnson, 13:119. Third was the 55, the Madman Kerry Matson at a 13:142 in the 55. Fourth was 71, the law firm Parker Price Miller at a 13:149. Fifth was the 44 Chris Martin at a 13:165. Sixth was the 25 of Jai Corbett at a 13:225. Seventh was the 27 Emerson Axum at a 13:228. Eighth was the 45X of Landon Crawley at a 13:238. Ninth was the 6W of Brandon Wimmer at a 13:446. In 10th was the 79 of Gage Montgomery at a 13:511. 11th was the B8 of John Bernard at a 13:538. 12th, the 7 of Tyler Lee at a 13:543. 13th was the 36 of Jason Martin at a 13:553. 14th was the 20G of Noah Gass at a 13:582. 15th, the 79K of Kyle Jones at a 13:665. 16th, the 12X of Cameron Key at 13:688. 17th, the 24 T-Mac Terry McCarl at 13:761. 18th, the 4X of Cruz Dickerson at a 13:870. 19th was the 42P of Preston Perlmutter at 13:911. 20th was the 122 of Lane Warner at 13:972. 21st was the 15 of Jack Potter at a 14,226. And 22nd in Group 1 was the 31 McLean Richards at a 14,387. In Group 2, your quick time was the 87 Aaron Reitzel at 13,028. Second was the 51B of Joe B. Miller at a 13,464. Third was the 4 Cam Martin at 13,467. Fourth, the 5H of Colton Fisher at 13,527. Fifth was the 49 of Josh Steinerman at 13,614. Sixth was the 74 of Xavier Donnelly at 13,629. Seventh was the 88 of Austin McCarl at 13,625. Eighth, the 15 junior Cole Meitzer at 13,656. Will Armitage in the 7A was ninth at 13,749. Kevin Thomas in the 19 was 10th at 13,752. 11th to 22 Riley Goodnow at a 13,760. 12th the 37 of Bryce Norris at 13,768. 13th was the 50 of Paul Nieheiser at a 13,9 or 809. 14th to 99 Jake Blackhurst at a 13,880. 15th to 3N of Jake Newman at a 13,934. 16th to 22M of Reese Moran at a 14,012. 17th was the 97 of Scotty Milan at a 14,049. 18th, the 5 is Zachary Sokol at a 14,078. 19th, the 2 of Brandon Anderson at a 14,169. 20th was the 98P of Miles Paulus at a 14,237. And 21st, the 74 and a Natalie Donnelly at a 14,265. Heat race number 1 went to Chris Martin. Second, Emerson Axum. Third, Kerry Matson. Fourth, Eric Chinjatin. Fifth was Jason Martin. Sixth, Brandon Wimmer. Seventh, John Bernard. Eighth, Terry McCarl. Ninth, Kyle Jones. 10th, Preston Perlmutter. And 11th to Jack Potter. Heat race number 2 went to Jai Corbin. Second, Landon Crawley. Third, Parker Price Miller. Fourth, Caleb Johnson. Fifth, Noah Gass. Sixth, Gage Montgomery. Seventh, Cameron Key. Eighth, Tyler Lee. Ninth, Lane Warner. 10th, Cruz Dickerson. And did not start in 11th, McLean Richards. Heat race number 3 went to Austin McCarl. Second, Aaron Reitzel. Third, Cam Martin. Fourth, Riley Goodnow. Fifth, Will Armitage. Sixth, Josh Steinerman. Seventh, Paul Nieheiser. Eighth, Scotty Milan. Ninth, Jake Newman. 10th, Brandon Anderson. 11th, Natalie Donnelly. Heat race number 4 went to Colton Fisher. Second, Cole Meitzer. Third, Kevin Thomas. Fourth, Joby Miller. Fifth, Xavier Donnelly. Sixth, Jake Blackhurst. Seventh, Bryce Norris. Eighth, Miles Paulus. Ninth, Reese Moran. And did not start 10th, Zachary Sokol. B main number 1. Picking up the win was Noah Gass. Second was Jason Martin. Third and final transfer was Paul Nieheiser. They were followed by 4th, Josh Steinerman. 5th, Kyle Jones. 6th, Gage Montgomery. 7th, John Bernard. 8th, Scotty Milan. 9th, Brandon Anderson. 10th, Cruz Dickerson. 11th, Tyler Lee. 12th, Natalie Donnelly. Reese Moran was 13th and credited with 14th and did not start McLean Richards. B main number 2 went to Xavier Donnelly. Second, Will Armitage. Third and final transfer, Brandon Wimmer. They're followed by fourth, Jake Newman. Fifth, Bryce Norris. Sixth, Miles Paulus. Seventh, Lane Warner. Eighth, Preston Perlmutter. Ninth, Jack Potter. 10th, Zachary Sokol. 11th, Cameron Key. 12th, Terry McCarroll. And 13th, Jake Blackhurst. In the feature, picking up the win was Aaron Reitzel. Second, Parker Price Miller. Third, Kerry Madsen. Fourth, Austin McCarroll. Fifth, Jai Corbett. Sixth, Chris Morton. Seventh, Emerson Axum. Eighth, Ayrton Jensen. Ninth, Caleb Johnson. 10th, Kevin Thomas. 11th, Paul Nieheiser. 12th, Joby Miller. 13th, Noah Gass. 14th, Will Armitage. 15th, Riley Goodnow. 16th, Xavier Donnelly. 17th, Brandon Wimmer. 18th, Cameron Martin. Cole Meitzer was 19th. 20th, Colton Fisher. 21st, Landon Crawley. 22nd, Gage Montgomery. And 23rd, Jason Martin. Upcoming action for tomorrow night. We'll start at the Marshalltown Speedway with their classes. 1,000 to win modifieds and 500 to win modified shootout deal. Also on the card will be Mod Lights, Sport Mods, Hobby Stocks, and Stock Cars. Over at Hancock County, it's the Hobo Stock Cars Shootout. 2,000 to win stock cars. Also on the card is Sport Mods, Modifieds, IMC Hobby Stocks, and Outlaw Hobby Stocks. Over at the CJ Raceway, or Speedway, excuse me, their racing program tomorrow night, it will be Modifieds, Stock Cars, Sport Mods, Hobby Stocks, and Sport Compacts on the card. Over at the Knoxville Raceway, night one of the World of Outlaws are back in town. The Outlaws are on the card, and the Pro Sprints will also be in racing action. On Saturday, it is $5 Appreciation Night, sponsored by Pepsi at the 34 Raceway. Once again, I said $5 will get you into the grandstand. It will feature 305 sprints, modified, sport mods, stock cars, sport compacts, and the dirt late models. Then next Wednesday night, over at Southern Iowa Speedway, racing action on Hall of Fame induction night with the sport mods, non-wing sprint cars, stock car, hobby stocks, and sport compacts. And that should wrap it up for this week's show. As always, be sure to go to your local track, and thanks for listening. Sorry it was a little late this week, but thanks for listening to the Dirt Racing Podcast.
Thank you for listening to the Dirt Racing Podcast with Marshall Hain. Follow us on Twitter at Dirt_Podcast or on Facebook at the Dirt Racing Podcast.